I
Or
still have a kiddo
Or
in
like
my arms because Sam's playing a super important video game. I would like to
Super
find.
important.
I would like to find and murder the person who invented video games without pause. Just saying.
Oh man, that's a hard one. Doubt you'd find them though.
Because there is some pimply faced 18-year-old in a tech bro who's like, video games don't need to pause. And I'm going to find him with my time machine and stop him.
Parents don't play video games.
Alright.
Happy late Christmas.
Happy late Christmas. Please don't grab my microphone.
As a present to you, I sent you a 7-page backstory.
Yeah, no, I like it. Let me just pull up my map here, as I'm woefully underprepared.
That's alright. I don't know what.
This is not the right game. That is the other game.
Here's a game about another game.
Well, it's the one shot I'm running for New Year's Eve.
Oh, gotcha.
I had to create a game room for it.
Oh.
World map. Here we are. Please don't bang. Thank you. Good lord, what the hell happened to... There it goes. Hey! Hey! You're fine. So we're going to begin our story a bit further south than Whitestone. Further south than Westrun. A little further even south than Kymel. Near the Emerald Outpost, currently being run by a Count Costume. You find yourself sitting out in front of Costume's office waiting for your payment for your most recent job. What was your most recent job?
Oh, probably killing a horde of undead, most likely.
True. You do find yourself doing a lot of that. And with the fall of Westrun, you have been making a good deal of coin. Do not stick my microphone in your mouth.
Yeah, please don't.
You've been making a good deal of coin, especially running into pockets of people who had escaped the city and decided not to go to Whitestone themselves, instead of heading out and south towards Singorn. Roll me a perception check.
7.
7? Okay.
My passive is a lot higher than that.
Okay, what is your passive? Because I'm assuming you'd be kind of you wouldn't be actively trying to pay attention to what is going on in the office.
It's 14.
14?
A lot better.
That is a lot better.
Like, half better. I literally just doubled my die roll.
You do hear a conversation within the walls of the office, something about Whitestone, and about Cassandra herself.
Yeah, it's when I start paying more attention.
Okay.
Is it like Costume discussing it with someone, or is it just like two random people?
It
Like
is
they all do?
Costume discussing it. You're aware that he has made overtures to Cassandra, and you probably have feelings about that. Tell me about your feelings about that.
Not happy.
Mm.
Not happy at all, especially if I know what dealings he has been doing. So if I know he's planted monstrous things like doppelgangers in the midst of Whitestone, he's lucky I haven't slit his throat.
You don't know all that. You do know that he has been actively trying to pursue Cassandra, despite knowing that she is married, and has no interest in him. You don't know the extent of how far he's been pursuing her.
Oh, so he's looking for a marriage thing. He's trying to combine the kingdoms, essentially.
Yeah. He does talk, and to almost anyone who listens, about the new shape of Taldore, and how after all of this is over, the old lines will be dead, and he'll be a king of the South, and she can rule at his side. Things like that. Things that you know Cassandra would have absolutely no interest in whatsoever.
Yeah, and I know she wouldn't do it, so
Yeah.
that part doesn't bother me. It's just the scumbag per se, doing his thing, but being who I am, I try to remain calm, cool, and collected most days. I take it out on the undead, put it that way.
Yeah.
So after hearing about Whitestone, that's when I slowly walk over and so what's happening in Whitestone?
Okay. You kind of just push the door open. You're not one to stand on ceremony. You do see two gentlemen talking. One, the Count himself. Kind of a pudgy older guy. Longish, well, like, not long. Mid-length brown hair. Not really anything to look at. Then that's the Count. He's talking to kind of a slight gentleman. Very slim build. Pale skin. Kind of light hair pulled back into a tight kind of ponytail. The Count looks up at you. Just talking about our dear Cassandra and the most recent exploits of her pets. Come in. How much do I owe you this time? He starts digging around in his desk.
Information. Tell me more about these pets.
He kind of looks to you and closes the drawer. Well, for you, a small adventuring party that she is convinced will bring down Vecna and bring some peace to these lands. I think it's a waste of time, but... And he just kind of shrugs. You should probably watch out for it. She's putting you out of business.
It's a business I do not mind being put out of, but who are you to judge what these folks are doing as you sit behind your pretty little desk and have your fancy baths? Tell me more.
He grins a little.
What have they learned so far?
Well, they've gotten rid of almost all my contacts in Whitestone. but I know she's taken on one of the Taldore whelps, and who has been more or less running the show since she fell with child. Shame. The Lord High Commander hasn't been seen for very recently. Not a shame. What information were you
Kyle.
looking for?
That's
Kynan.
Kyle.
Yes, you know Kynan is his official title is
Kynan.
currently the Lord High Commander.
He has not been seen.
No.
As in he's weird, as in he's gone out venturing. That the measly little information that you have? Is there any more?
He kind of just looks at you frustrated. It's not like she's sharing much with me at the moment. Like I said, most of my contacts are sniffed out by her pets and captured. And he kind of glares at the man standing in front of the desk. You get the feeling that this is that the man
I'll
in front
look
of the
over at him. Can you share some information?
He kind of shrugs. But of course, what are you looking for?
What's happened to Kynan? Do you know? Are you
I don't think it's
privy
anything.
to the information?
I don't think that it is anything as hopeful as our Count wishes. Cassandra does not seem as stressed about it as she would be if it was not. Cassandra would be more stressed if her dear Kynan was disappeared. She does not seem to be terribly concerned about it, so obviously whatever he is doing with her blessing. He is correct that the Taldore woman,
Seems
Ilia Taldore, has taken over most of the outskirts of the city and most of the inside of the city as well, and is stretched to her limits. So if we want to put someone inside of the city, now is the time. Cassandra's knights are doing good work against Vecna.
this is where I need to choose.
Huh?
What do we know about these knights? What have they discovered?
A small group. He kind of rubs his head. I don't know a lot. One is a paladin of the Raven Queen. The other is a rifleman. Some skill with a cittern. And a member of the Clasp. There is also another cleric of some old god who traveled with them, took a break. They picked up another adventurer, a fighter, but the cleric did not approve of him and he was summarily dismissed. As far as what they know about Vecna, I don't know. They keep it very close to their chest. But they use Whitestone as their head of operation.
What about the walls? Do they seem to be holding?
As well as most. Whitestone has further arcane protections, and with both Gilmore and Allura
There's a delay between us. Give me a second. I'm gonna restart, I think.
Okay.
User disconnected from your channel. User entered your channel.
I keep trying. Every time I talk to you, I keep interrupting you right in the midst of like you're like right in the middle of what you're saying.
Yep.
I'm like, damn it, she's still talking. God damn it.
Sorry, it's information. dump.
Anyways, you were saying.
He nods. With the arcane,
Yeah.
yes, the arcane protections on the city, they have Gilmore and Allura in the city, so those are not two to be those are two not to be trifled with, and they have also picked up another wizard by the name of Odrin, less well known, exiled from Western for his own protection. A couple of apprentices each. The walls are holding, but it will, with this group that is actively pursuing Vecna, it is only a matter of time.
Matter of time for what?
I think it is a race between how quickly Vecna can muster his forces and how quickly these knights can get the job done, in my professional opinion. The Count just kind of shrugs. Well, if the city is overrun, that would actually make my plans easier. Roll an insight check.
Oh, that's really good. 21.
21. With a 21, you can tell that the gentleman who is giving you this information, one is Marquesian, or at least has a Marquesian accent, and two, does not seem to like the Count at all. And you get the feeling, especially with the 21, that he is also just working for the Count for the coin, and has no personal loyalty to the man. He looks like he's swallowed something awful when the Count says, "Oh, that will help if the city is overrun."
Let me hear for a second of how I would react that. Oh, gee. Guy really wants me to kill him. He really wants me to kill him. I would turn slightly the Count. Choose your words carefully as you're in my presence, because I swear to you, as cold and dry as my heart is, I will slit your throat and have all of your soldiers watch you. And then I turn back to the gentleman in front of me, and I'd say, I'd actually hand him over, hand him 50 gold. Choose your employers wisely, as I have not done so myself within the recent year.
He takes the coin and nods to you. This is quite a sum.
Enough, hopefully, to help you, and hopefully enough to keep you coming back to the midst of bottom feeders as this one.
The Count looks a bit stunned as you both kind of carry on this conversation. The gentleman kind of throws at the bag, catches it midair. Why don't you and I grab a drink?
I would like that. I'll look back at the Count. Consider my services no longer at your disposal, and Dare I repeat myself, if I find out that you're meddling in anything that comes even close to Whitestone, I will be back for you, Costame. And I tell you, I am not the sight you want to see.
Costame himself
And
has turned a brilliant color of eggplant.
of plant is that so angry purple?
Yes, like angry purple.
I I think my job is done.
Mm.
That or I'm gonna die in the morning, one of the two.
So you walk out with the Marquesian gentleman, and he kind of laughs at you. I would leave town quickly, all things considered.
I'd look at him and I'd just smile. I've been around for many years. I've dealt with many rulers, and I've dealt with the likes of this man as well. There's nothing that he can do to me that has not already been done.
Well, I will give you more information than I gave him, I think.
That would be appreciated.
He kind of he rests his hands on his back and kind of, walks forward. He has a kind of a confident air about him, and he moves almost silently. Hold on just a moment.
No problem.
I would suggest taking him to the nursery and rocking him. "5 minutes in the rocking chair and that kid's gonna be out."
It does happen.
Oh, I know, I do it almost every night. Okay, so, he kind of walks next to you. I have information that I did share with Costame before you entered the room, as I was paid to. Cassandra
No grudges
is
have
with...
been held here.
He nods. Cassandra is with child.
Almost like... There's almost like a... I mean, he's not really like... Bellion is not very dark-skinned,
Mm-hmm.
but if there was even more of a paler that you could go... Pale.
Yeah.
How far is she?
Not far. It's barely out of the castle's walls that this knowledge is spread.
Any information you can provide me about Cassandra would be
He nods.
greatly appreciated.
The stress was getting to her, of course, so she passed along most of her job duties to Ilya Taldore, who has been her right-hand woman since Ilya arrived in town, really. Well, maybe a little bit after that. Once Ilya was rescued. That's probably when it happened. Once Ilya decided to stay in Whitestone, Cassandra started passing off more and more tasks to her. That was when the pregnancy announcement was officially made.
Did Chaim leave due to the pregnancy, or is there more information that can be provided?
No, I don't believe he would have left due to the pregnancy. I believe he is doing some work trying to locate perhaps more information on Vecna. I know Cassandra and Kynan in the past have traveled to the Shadowfell. He might have been gathering information there. He is much more stealthy than she is, and she has much more to lose now. Plus, resurrections get harder every time they happen, so.
Stallion kind of turns, mutters to himself, "Hey, where he is, and send his own to do that kind of bidding."
Your microphone cut out there, sorry.
No, it's alright. I think we're both having little mic cutouts here.
Yeah.
Aphelion would turn his head and kind of, that fool, he should be home with his wife, not out. Just looks. If there's a look of kind of like, man, I hope he dies, and man, that idiot back home, got it on his face right now.
Yeah, strongly mixed feelings.
Yeah, beyond mixed.
He nods. I agree. I have a feeling that he did not know before he left.
And that's when it clicks, and he's like, she's a fool.
I don't
And then
disagree.
he just has this look of complete frustration with the whole situation. What about this group? What do you think? How should I say? What do you think their chances are on success?
To be honest, I was not convinced the first 2 or 3 times I ran into them. They fight constantly with each other and they bicker. The paladin seems to hate the gunslinger. But they're very effective. They have a member of the clasp with them who is doing good work and keeping the whole group from falling apart, along with their cleric. Though their cleric often has taken time to see to situations in the castle. Are you familiar with Jozen?
I know of him.
Yeah.
Actually, quite well.
Yes. I believe that with Cassandra entering the more riskier times, he will probably stay close to her, but he's torn between his work with defeating Vecna and his loyalty to the Darolos.
Stallion looks around. Well, it's been many years since I ventured to Whitestone. And that was not a place that I wanted to go anytime soon. But seems my stay has run out here. And it seems as though folks might be able to use my experience and wisdom in these matters.
You're not wrong. They still tell stories of you, Felian.
Most, I imagine, are untrue, at least the ones that I've heard.
At least very trumped up. You seem like a competent man, but I do not think you took on a blue dragon by yourself. Unarmed.
No. What? There was a bard I met once. He, short halfling fella. He tells some interesting stories, and I found out through him some stories that I never even knew about myself. So what do you feel? You feel as though a trip to Whitestone is merited in this situation, or will you be staying here?
With this amount of coin, I could probably buy my way back to Marquette, and if not, I can at least find A good spot on the Widow's Revenge, somewhere far from this continent. No offense.
Untaken. This is what I do for a living. Slaughter undead creatures and monsters, and I don't want to be here.
Hmm. Well, as one of those monsters, there are places where I can go to. Not run across trouble.
No, my friend, you misinterpret. Just because you're born of, let's say, different stature doesn't not make you a monster. It makes you just as much as human as I am.
He kind of smiles at you, and as he smiles at you, his face shifts to the visage of Costume, and then back to the one he had adopted. And he gives you a wink.
Valiant kind of gives him just like a slight smirk. I can smell you from a mile away.
I am not terribly surprised. There are
When this is what you do, this is what you do.
there are quite a few doppelgangers in Whitestone itself. Most are just regular refugees.
Like I said, there's a difference between monsters. Some of you folks are certainly not.
If you go to the Slayer's Cake, there is a set of twins, halflings, who will always be friends to those who are friends to them.
Valiant gives him up or her polite bow. And, well, I have a long journey ahead of me.
Or maybe not as long as you think it might need to be.
Does the rock eyebrow
He flips
or the
you.
people's eyebrow?
He flips you a coin.
But you don't have to return the coin that I gave to you.
That is a different coin.
He smiles. Thank you.
I think we are kindred spirits, you and I. I hope this is not my last time meeting you.
The feeling is mutual.
When you do meet up with Cassandra's adventurers, if you ever want to find me, you can find me at the Oasis. They have been and they know it.
I might have been there before.
It's quite a lovely place. For monsters
It's
who
lovelier
are...
now.
For monsters who are not monsters.
You might know a certain bartender that might be a friendly monster.
There are very, very many friendly monsters in that city. But such is life.
Valiant smiles and he turns and gives that backhand wave as he starts moving to where he's been staying to gather his gear.
Yeah, and the gentleman doesn't continue talking to you, just kind of nods to you and kind of walks his own way.
Yeah, I figured that was the split off moment. So yeah, he would go to. I'd say he'd probably been staying in an inn here somewhere.
Yep.
And just be, he most likely recently just came here, and gathers his gears and takes a deep breath, just like that big. This is not where I want to go. And he'd probably use the coin.
Okay.
still there?
Yep, I'm still here. I just changed the map.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just like, damn it. Oh, God. Oh, God. Actually, in this case, he doesn't pray to any gods. He's met one.
He's met one. It was fine.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of fine. It was, yeah, you can't, essentially, you're soulless, bud. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul will continue to wander the material plane and go nowhere.
Yes, exactly.
Where do I end up in Whitestone?
So, you kind of hold the coin, and you're like, how do I activate? And then you disappear.
Oh, it's thoughts. That's right.
Yeah. You reappear in this little corner of town. You see where I'm picking?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I got you.
Little back alley, mostly kind of trash, some stray cats, a couple of rainwater barrels. It's an alley. And as you look down, you realize there were arcane sigils on the ground that have flashed and disappeared.
Normal magic. He's smart when it comes to magic. I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I shouldn't say smart, but he,
You get the feeling this is like a one-time teleportation circle.
yeah.
And the coin has disappeared. So magics. And you find yourself on the familiar streets of Whitestone.
But it looks completely different because I have not been here in a long time.
When was the last time you were here? It was after the vampire.
Yes, it was right after Briarstone. So it was right after the Chroma Conclave. They finished with the Chroma Conclave, and it's essentially during that 1 year break that they took.
Okay.
Right in that realm. It was right after the Chroma Conclave. They come back here, and that's when Percy left again.
Yep.
And kind of left Cassandra to do her thing. It was... The start of it is, just to give you perspective, was when Keyleth went to go finish off her Water Ashari
Yes.
adventure, and then during the time they come back and take their year break, it's during that span of time.
Perfect. Okay. So you feel you feel the familiar arcane wards of the city.
Mhm.
They tickle against your skin a little bit because this was not a official teleportation circle, but doesn't seem to reject you outright.
I hate teleportation.
And the city looks, it looks a little different, but not terribly different. This is one of those cities that does not change quickly.
Yep.
Like New England,
That sounds like Whitestone. Well, they like to preserve their history.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's one of those, like, that the blacksmiths got a new name over it, but, like, they just switched the letters around. Or...
And they got a new sign here. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, someone painted that door the same exact color. But it's not 20 years old now, so...
Oh yeah, Gilmore's Glorious. When in the hell did Gilmore put that in?
Yeah, you do notice Gilmore's Glorious Books is a bustling and huge library.
I would probably head right to the Slayer's Cake.
Okay. You notice that the city is kind of crowded for Whitestone. Um, Not an unfamiliar feeling. Kymel was the same way, in that
Hmm.
it was packed, just slightly more than comfortable.
Yeah. Kind of like New York or Boston.
Yeah, like the city was like if this like if your house was built for like could fit 6 people comfortably. Now there's 8 people in it.
Yeah.
But you're
I'm
not
gonna.
unfamiliar with the city. You know to like tuck your purse in a little bit and kind of keep your eyes
Oh
peeled.
yeah. I rolled 15 intelligence check. Just kind of from the perspective of things, I'd say he's putting together kind of things aren't going so well because there's more people here, and there probably wouldn't be.
Um,
And then,
Roll
because
me.
he hasn't heard about what happened to Amon yet.
No. Oh, Amon fell like one of the first cities that fell, but you probably have
Oh,
not
so
heard of Vasselheim.
Vasselheim. That's
Because
yeah, that's what I was
Vasselheim
thinking.
basically went straight here. And as you're walking the streets, you're noticing it's a lot of clerics and a lot of paladins.
Yep.
And
Yep.
not just from Pelor and the Raven Queen, but Pelor, the Raven Queen, Bahamut, even though Bahamut is kind of a fading religion. Um,
Yep.
Sarenrae is well represented. There's even a couple worshippers of Melora that are kind of carved out a spot. You're noticing like little altars through the city of makeshift churches. It looks like your
This
alleyway
isn't
was one of the
good.
few that was not commandeered to create.
It's the part of town that people have stayed out of so far. Kind of like Maine, all of a sudden these houses stop popping up.
Yep.
New businesses. Oh, there's a Dollar General there. How the fuck did that get there? When did that happen?
Yeah, getting to the point where they're kind of bending space time in order to put in a temple.
Yep.
But you do manage to make your way across the city to the Sun Tree, filled with ravens. Um, and the Slayer's Cake is right next door, doing a busy trade. Two young halfling women doing, it looks like, the bulk of the work.
I realize now, I never asked that gentleman his name. Son of a bitch. The things that you should remember to do. Um, kind of just looking around. I remember when they built this place. Huh. And walk in and see the halflings. So, what do you two fine ladies have here that's good?
One of them kind of perks her head up. Oh, well, we're kind of known for our bear claws.
I'll
And
take one of those.
she nods. Of course. And she kind of puts it on a piece of waxed cloth and puts it on the counter for you.
I flip her gold.
She takes it. That's change.
No need.
All right.
And he takes a bite.
It is delicious.
He takes a bite and he's like, just like how they used to make it.
We stuck most of the old recipes when we could find them.
Has the owners been back anytime soon?
No, not since the rise of Vecna. They're mostly assumed dead. I'm sorry if you didn't know.
So, what are the happenings happening in this fair city lately?
Well, The Knights are back. That's kind of pleasant. It's always interesting when they're in town. They just started billeting paladins and clerics into the civilians' houses, which is going interestingly. Most people are willing to take in a cleric or a paladin, especially if not for religious reasons, at least for their, at least for the extra doses of rations.
Have you heard of what happened at Vasselheim?
You mean when it fell?
That's not. Well,
You didn't know that either, did you?
no, I've been, how do you say, away.
I'm so sorry. Yes, Vasselheim fell. Most of the city was evacuated here.
Oh, wow. That's,
Piling
That's
one
a lot
busy
of
city
people.
and another busy city, yes.
how do the defenses seem to be holding up?
Good enough. There haven't been any incursions into the city yet, so the walls are holding.
That's always pleasant. So the business is good, then?
Always. We're one of the few places that have sugar, with all the rationing going on. But everyone needs a little treat now and then, so we managed to stay open.
Businesses like this, they keep everyone going.
That's what we think.
Felion takes a coin and slides it across. Just a straight gold. Can I get another one of those? Bear claws.
Of course. She takes the coin. You don't have to pay for this one, but if you wish. And she kind of pockets the gold before you can really argue about it. And passes you another bear claw.
He smiles. I hope you have a great day.
You as well, sir.
Walks out. He looks around, kind of, with the people passing through. Takes a deep breath. And heads to the castle.
Alright. You head north to the castle. You do have to walk past. You walk past a set of barracks. It looks like it's good craftsmanship, but nothing fancy. It looks like it was pretty hastily put together. Not a lot of decorative touches, and definitely not big enough to support all of the paladins and clerics of Vasselheim. And you make your way to the castle gates.
That's, yeah. Fellion's just kind of like, yeah, at least they're holding the walls. That's a positive thing. He just, I'm gonna observe everything, take in everything, every little detail of the happenings, how people are doing, probably the morale of the city.
Okay.
You know, it's
Roll
just
me
making sure.
3 insight checks.
3 what?
Insight.
That one's not good. First one was 6. Second one was 18. And the third one is a 19.
Okay. So the defenses seem strong, not anything overly. It's not like every inch of it is being guarded, however. There seem to be fairly regular patrols, but not regular enough that you can kind of get an idea of how often. The morale in the city seems fine. A little tense, not... Maybe like day 4 of having family over. Like oh, I haven't seen you in so long has worn off, but not like if you touch my toothbrush one more time, I'm going to slit your throat. Hasn't fully kicked in.
Yep.
There's a heavy presence of clerics and paladins in the city, and on the outskirts. Kind of stop and get a view of it. And yeah, seems like the city is bustling.
So, morale is decent. People, I mean, as decent as it can be with just massive amounts of undead roaming woods.
Yeah.
There
is still rationing happening. There is still billeting happening. There is still, but
I take it. The guard situation is either they don't want to show that they're up strong in force, make sure that normal life can keep going, or they're being really lax and they shouldn't be doing that. And
roll me an insight check with advantage.
And I'll take the first one. It's 18.
Okay. With an 18, Cassandra had talked a little bit about her political style, and she has mentioned in the past where she disagrees with some cities putting out an excessive amount of guards in the city itself. She's like, nothing. She was of the opinion that putting out too many guards in a city that is already starting to ratchet up only seems to ratchet things further. So, she's mentioned before that kind of philosophy of that just escalates things faster.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, and I've just been the walk there, still with a bear claw in hand, not one bite taken out of it.
Okay. So you're gonna walk up to the guards at the castle gate?
I'll just walk right up.
Okay. There's an older gentleman there and a younger gentleman. We seem to be pairing experienced guards with inexperienced guards. As you do. Business in the castle, sir?
Yes.
Alright, who are you seeing?
Cassandra Derolo.
Cassandra Derolo. And your name?
Just tell her the unseen soul is here to see her.
That's not weird at all. Wait here.
Never is.
He kind of... The younger guard walks off. The older guard kind of waits with you. Doesn't seem to recognize you. If he recognizes you, he's not letting it on. It's kind of it's kind of stretching into an awkward amount of time. Like,
yep.
That feeling when your plates are getting run by the cop that pulled you over.
Yep. That nervousness is kicking in. Not due to the guard, but due to... do I really want to do this? I could just turn around now.
I could go back to Kymel, I'm sure.
He won't mind. I could go to the Oasis. It seems like a nice place this time of year.
And as you're thinking that, that's when the young guard comes back. Alright, you're clear to go, escorted.
Fair enough.
And he kind of whistles. And a couple of even younger guards than him flank you on either side. Alright, take him to Cassandra's office.
I fall.
Yep. And they lead you through the castle, to a very familiar door. Door you have seen 100,000 times.
I could turn back now. Still not too late. Well, why am I walking towards the door? I head in.
Head in. Okay. Cassandra is waiting for you. Her expression is a little confused, a little sad. Felian, what are you... And she kind of crosses the room and gives you a big hug.
I bought you a bear claw. And he hands her the bear claw.
Are you just kind of holding it out while she hugs you, or...?
I do that. Stand straight, and not hug back. Awkwardness. And then as she backs up, I go, I bought you a bear claw.
She nods and takes it and sets it to one side. Of course. Sorry. Would you like something to drink?
No, I'm okay for now.
Alright.
I came to talk to you about your knights, your group that is chasing Vecna.
Ah, yes, of course.
I figured, I know it's been a long time, but it was time to give aid to the battle.
Your microphone cut out. All I got was if.
I figured that now was better than any time to offer my experience and my aid to taking down this curse that plagues the land.
I'm sure they'd appreciate any help they could get. They're out of the city at the moment. Ilya Taldore sent up a signal fire, and it looks like they had something even she couldn't take care of on her own, so... I imagine they'll be back maybe later this evening.
Fair enough. Do you know where they usually meet, or where they stay?
Yes, they can usually be found at the Bear's Pub. If not there, the Alcove is another popular spot where they seem to congregate. And there's a house in the residential district. Mrs. O'Shaughnessy's house. I believe two of their girlfriends are staying there. And along with some children, and they enjoy their time there at the O'Shaughnessy's.
Thank you. I appreciate your assistance in this matter.
Of course.
I will see to talking to them at once. Maybe we can join forces, figure out this way, take down this monster out there.
She kind of swallows heavily and nods. Oh, yes, of course. They would be lucky to have help from someone as you.
That's the hope. Be well, Cassandra.
You as well, Felian.
And he turns, walks out, opens the door, shuts the door, and just think I'm gonna puke. Let's go. And he heads out.
Okay. The two guards escort you from the office back to the castle gates.
And he gives every one of them a polite wave and starts heading away. And as soon as he's by himself, he just sits down and he just meditates.
Okay.
Just random spot, doesn't even matter where it is as long as he's by himself.
Yep, you find a quiet spot next to the moat.
And that is his way of dealing with extreme pain. Probably do that for a good at least an hour.
Okay.
And then he would...
Roll a perception check.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm good at those. No, I'm not. But that wasn't a bad
Actually,
roll.
never mind. Okay, 19. I was about to say what's your passive, but 19's good. You spot a pair of young girls, like, towards the end of when you're kind of gathering yourself. You spot a pair of young girls, kind of ducking here and there around your more or less hidden spot. You know how to pick spots that are out of the way. But these two young girls seem to be chasing a monkey. And giggling.
Chasing a monkey.
A monkey. Which you know are not native to Whitestone.
Yeah, he gives that, like, slow head turn and just stares. Just for a moment. What was in Bear Claw? And he would walk over there. Excuse me, little girl.
Yep. You walk over. There's one of the girls is very fair, very light hair color, light eyes. The other is kind of dark and sharp gray eyes. She looks like she's not in the best of moods. They have caught the monkey who is sitting on the fair-haired girl's head. But the dark-haired one is the one that speaks. Who are you?
My name's Felion. Is that a monkey?
That's Horatio. You're not Felion. What's your real name?
My name is Felion Kareen.
Felion Kareen is 7 foot tall. And defeats dragons barehanded. You are not that guy.
He gives her a slight grin. I assure you that Felion Green stands 6'3", unless I've shrunken an inch, and I have never, in my life, taken on a dragon with my bare hand.
She kind of narrows her eyes at you, and it's a very imperious look. You're familiar with the Taldore family. You've seen this look before.
Yep.
And she kind of just narrows her eyes at you. I don't think I'm buying it.
Would you like to see the amulet that I keep around my neck? What proof would you like?
She kind of looks at you, and then looks to the fair-haired girl, and then they bow their heads together and start whispering.
I just hope they don't have me slaughter the poor monkey.
They separate after a moment. If you're Felion... Did you drink the magic potion?
Drink the magic potion?
Yes, the magic potion that makes it so you can't die?
I think there's a misconception about the elixir that I drank. That elixir allowed me to speak with the Raven Queen, release my soul, but I pulled myself from the depths of death, and now I'm a wondrous soul who wanders the plains killing monsters.
The Taldori girl kind of looks at you, and they bow their heads together and start talking and whispering amongst themselves. You get the feeling you're being interrogated.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not very good at bad cop, good cop. They seem to have chosen bad cop, silent cop. And the Taldori girl kind of crosses her arms and turns back to you. Okay, then. I want to see the amulet.
Takes the amulet and pulls it from underneath his cloak. Still around his neck, he bends over. I've seen this trick before. You keep your hands at your side.
She makes a big show of, like, putting her hands out and putting them behind her back. Leans forward and looks it over. Alright, that looks real then.
It's the same ghost. The same crystals. I could show you, and he takes out a bolt out of one of his side quivers that he has,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "My blood, this bolt. I will make this bolt glow with radiant energy with my blood." And he takes it and he just slightly cuts it into his hand. And as the blood seeps into the bolt, it starts emanating this faint glow of almost the sun shining. You know how, like, you look out towards the side and the sun shining to the side of your eyes? You're not, like, staring directly into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the effect that it causes you.
She smiles brilliantly at this and goes, "Ah, now that is interesting. I will have to find you later and get more information on how you do that." You see,
That's an ancient secret that I cannot share.
Nika and I are good at finding secrets. That's what we do.
You can certainly try. He smiles and
So, are you
pull-
here to help the knights?
smiles and, well, I figured the undead slayer has come to play some undead.
They're not here right now. They're looking for my mother.
So rolling, I guess I'd call it a perception check. It could be an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, I know the Tal'Doris. I've known that look, the way she speaks. He looks down. Is your mother a Tal'Dori?
She is. She is Baroness Ilya Taldori of the Grey Hunt. It was Empress. It would have been Empress Taldori, but apparently my great grandpa abdicated the throne before the dragons attacked. But I'm going to get it back.
He chuckles at that. That I bet you will.
How long ago did she go missing?
She's not Missing. She just put up a signal fire 2 days ago.
On.
I went with them. Well, not with them. I followed them like most of the way there, but then they got mad and said I wasn't supposed to be there, and Cure sent me back.
Cure.
Mm.
And who is this Cure?
She kind of looks like unsure of how to answer that, but Nika, the quiet one, pipes up from the background. That's her mom's girlfriend.
Kinda.
And Alina,
I always figured.
Alina goes, I mean, they do kissy face sometimes, but Cure has made no promises. I don't approve.
And why wouldn't you approve of this Cure?
Because she hasn't made any promises to my mother.
Sometimes these things just take time.
When courting someone, you should be honest about your intentions.
Are you sure that Cure hasn't been honest about her intentions?
She kind of shrugs her shoulders. I mean, I haven't seen it.
Sometimes promises, as you say, stay between the two making the promises to each other.
Seems like there should be something more official. Like a contract.
Some things... Hellion just does that. No. Sometimes contracts don't solve everything. These are things you will learn as you get older.
Everyone says that.
Take me. I've been alive for 93 years, and I still just wander around killing monsters.
Roll a persuasion check.
Wow, that's not bad. Oh, okay, so 16. I thought it was gonna be good.
She kind of looks at you. Sure, 93 years. Okay. I totally believe you.
It is the truth.
I spent 5 years in the Feywild.
You are quite young for that. How old are you? 4?
6.
But I still believe you. No, the Feywild. Time goes by, how do you say, a little bit slower than it does in our world.
Yeah, I guess it had only been like a couple of days here. Everyone was very confused.
How did you manage to get lost in the Feywild?
I didn't. My mom got taken there. Then she had me. And Nika's mom had her. And then Cure finally came to rescue us. It only took forever. My mom would tell me every night, Cure is looking for us. Cure is looking for us. And she didn't come, and she didn't come. And then she didn't come until the night of the auction.
Hellion just looks sad. That sad look on his face. I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
liked it in the Feywild. You never know what was gonna happen. The auction wasn't pleasant. There was a giant demon, and it just wasn't very nice, but...
Do you know when Cure will return?
She kind of crosses her arms, and it's a stance you are so familiar with. Between Cassandra and Ilya and just all of the way overconfident people you have run into your life. She kind of just goes, I don't know, but if she takes much longer, I'm going to go myself again.
You know it's not wise to follow people in. Not because the fear of not knowing how to handle yourself, it's more the fear of knowing that there is someone there that you have to protect. That would take your mind off your mission ahead. Both things. And possibly get others killed. More training is what you need. Experience. Then I'm sure Kira would take you anywhere you wanted to go.
I have been training. I have been training for a year. I know how to run. I know how to work all of the pistols and clean them and shoot them. Well, mostly shoot them. I'm good. I sharpen my own dagger. I'm good with it. I am much sneakier than just about everyone I know. Nika kind of coughs behind her. Well, yeah, except for you, but you don't talk. Still. Kura explained it, and she said that she was gonna go find my mom, so I just gotta trust her. I guess.
Know which direction that was?
Yeah. West, towards the ocean.
How many days did you have to travel?
Almost like a full half a day, and it was at a good speed. They were doing a good job. But, well, they teleported me back. And then they put a tracking bracelet on me.
That was probably for the best.
Clerics. She kind of shrugs.
West. And where is this Cure staying right now?
That's really a hard question. They don't usually stay very long. Usually they stay with us at Mrs. O'Shaughnessy's house. Sometimes they stay at the Bear's Pub. Usually if Mommy is in the castle, they stay at the castle.
Bear's Pub. That sounds like that's where I should go.
It's a nice place. I can take you. I have not been banned. Wait, is it Tuesday?
I don't know, is it Tuesday?
No, it is not Tuesday.
Not Tuesday.
Okay, so I'm still banned, but I can take you to the doorway.
How would you like a bear claw?
I like bear claws.
We should stop and get ourselves one.
At the Slayer's Cake?
Of course. Where else would you go?
I'm banned.
Well, I can go in and get it.
Okay.
He looks over at the other little one. And of course, you'll be joining us.
Nika nods. You look her over, and she kind of. She's not quiet because she's shy. She's quiet because she is very used to Alina doing all of the talking, and is more than willing to let Alina do all of the talking. You do see this small capuchin monkey hanging out on her shoulder. And a large arcane bracelet on her wrist.
As they're walking. So, tell me a story I haven't heard about myself. What monsters have I slain?
Lena kind of searches her memory, but it's actually Nika that speaks up. Well, there was the time that you slew a rock with a single good berry.
How would one even do that? Explain to me how that happens.
I believe that you... Yes, you painted a rock, a rock like from the ground, to look like a good berry, and then you snuck up towards the rock. And then you put the... This is gonna get complicated. You put the stone in a slingshot, and you slung it at the rock, and then the rock ate it. But it got stuck in its throat and died.
Stories get out of control, I tell you. Let me tell you a real story about a time where there was a pack of wolves. Goes on into this story of when he was a kid and he killed a pack of wolves as his initiation into the order.
Yep. They are hanging on every word. And you can see Alina doing mental math. So how old were you?
Oh, I suppose I was 15.
Okay.
That's how I got these scars, and he kind of lifts up his shirt, and there's just gnarly claw marks that go up his arm.
They both go, ew, and giggle. Because they're small children, girls.
And let me tell you about the time that I got this one across my face. This one was, the vampire spawns. Don't ever go near those. See one. Just hide.
Nika kind of shakes her head. We've seen them before.
And then he kind of frowns. Because, children shouldn't... These stories should be the ones that are meant for them to go to sleep. The vampire spawn will get you if you don't sleep at night. Kind of stories and ones of myth.
Alina kind of shrugs her shoulders uncomfortably, but Nika's like, Our mothers were kidnapped by Sandor the Undying, and he did experiments on them, and that's how they got us. And one or two of his servants were vampire spawn. Kjork killed one of them. It was super cool.
Sure, sounds like she's good with a sword.
She is. Lena kind of shrugs her shoulders. I guess. She's fine. I could be better. I just need more practice.
What kind of sword do you use? Short?
Well, sometimes they let me use a short sword, but mostly just daggers now. Nika kind of shrugs her shoulders and laughs. Yeah, but that's only when you steal my mom's daggers. Speaking of, and she kind of holds out her hand. Alina goes, yeah, fine. And hands over a dagger. You notice the dagger is on the hilt is carved a raven's head.
Hmm.
Nika kind of pockets it. She hasn't noticed it's missing yet, but it's just a matter of time.
What
Besides,
kind of paladin is her? What does she worship?
the Raven Queen, like my mother.
The cold chill runs down his spine. Those paladins don't care for me very much.
They both kind of shrug. eh. It is what it is.
To be honest, who do those paladins kind of rough, righteous, I guess. Hey,
Nika nods. Yeah, kind of. They're... I don't know. I prefer magic. Do anything with magic. And that's about when you arrive at the Slayer's Cake.
yeah, paladins kind of like, man, did I just really have this conversation about life?
With a pair of 6-year-old girls who were following you.
Yes.
I mean, not following you, they're flanking you, let's be honest.
Yeah. And he bends down and gold for you. Gold for you.
They both take it. Thank you. We'll go in
Job
the
well
fund.
done, ladies. The fund. The college fund, hopefully?
Are you saying that out loud?
No.
Okay. And you see both of them put their coins in a separate in a pouch together.
And
What's your passive perception?
passive perception is 14.
14. Okay. It seems to be a decently filled pouch. It's a combination of like a lot of copper, few silver, one or two, the 2 gold coins that you gave them, maybe 2 or 3 more. Bits and pieces of odds and ends, like a broken ring, couple of one earrings that don't match each other, things like that.
Wow. Job well done, ladies. For now, I will bid you farewell.
If you need us again, we're staying at Mrs. O'Shaughnessy's house, and we're mostly around.
I have no idea who this O'Shaughnessy is, but she sounds like a pleasure to meet.
She cooks really good, and she's super nice, actually. Alina kind of points to Gilmore's Glorious Books. She's right there. She's the second house behind Gilmore's Glorious Books.
Maybe sometime we'll meet again.
Probably. If you're gonna go find the knights, then you'll probably find us.
Probably.
Come on, I'm gonna go find that tuxedo cat. And Alina nudges Nika, and they both go running off.
Head into the bar, find himself a room for the night.
Okay.
At least.
Yep, very large man, greets you pleasantly. No problem finding a room. They're a bit full up at the moment. That he offers you a shared room for 1 gold a night, or a single room for 3 gold a night.
Single room.
Okay. And hands you a key.
And the heads up there to unpack well, kind of unpack his stuff.
Yep. It is a medium-sized, it's a small to medium-sized room. It's not the worst you've ever been in. It's very clean. The whole place is very, very neat and clean. It's not like a lot of the grodier pubs that you've been in. It's shaped like a grody pub. It looks like it should be a grody pub, but it's not one of those places where you touch the blankets and you go, no, I'm not laying on that. It's very clean. But yeah.
Yeah, fine establishment.
And as you settle in, we're going to end it for tonight.
Figured that was a good spot.
Yep.
Cool. So, I will do battle with Jazin on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Help them out with that. And we'll see where Fellion comes in and has fun killing monsters. I'll just figure out how I'm going to folks.
And you got some information that the party needs, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a positive thing. Yeah. So I will talk to you on Tuesday.
Alright. Are you gonna be free on New Year's Eve, or are you doing something?
I'm probably gonna do something with the wife.
Alright, have fun.
Yeah, I'll try.